Okay, so hopefully this is recording. I am switching up computers, and this one always gives me a hellacious time when I record stuff. All right, so this is our content cornerstone. Again, this is for folks, if you're just joining us, who are looking to create your first product. Ostensibly, this was actually for writing tiny books, but it is equally as sort of relevant for tiny courses, uh, you know, coaching offers, little products that you may want to sell on something like Gumroad or an analogous platform. And it just works wonderfully well for getting yourself organized around your own area of expertise. And again, this actually takes on board this notion that rather than outlining what it is that you create these silos of content that I call a content cornerstone that is really the firm foundation of your entire self publishing platform. So let's just use a real life example. This is really the important part over here, but I'm going to cover a couple of the sort of other elements as well. I'm going to do it quickly, but essentially your master map um, it covers the challenges that folks in your ideal audience or your quintessential client community may be asking, like extemporaneous questions that folks ask you as a professional in your niche, market, vertical, industry, area of expertise, things that folks really struggle to solve that you empirically know. There are shortcuts to this if you don't have that information available to you. So let's say you're just starting and you don't have a ton of questions that clients are asking, current clients, customers, etc. What I recommend doing is going to something like answerthepublic.com, which generates questions that real people are asking in the real world that you can actually visualize, print out, and utilize in a variety of cool and creative ways. uh, Answer the Public was a great tool for many years in my own, you know, content creation business. They were sold actually or purchased, I guess, depending on which side of the street you take that from, by a well-known marketing guy. I forget his name, but he's someone that's really, kind of either loved or hated. And I've actually used the tool since he bought it. Also found it super helpful, but he's made some changes, and again, I don't pay for it anymore, but it is still, at least to my knowledge, available for free if you go to answerthepublic.com. There's like some limitation now on how many searches you can do a day, but nonetheless, you can figure that out for yourself. Answer the Public, though, if you just type in a single keyword or a short keyword phrase, they will give you a shit ton of very specific questions that you can answer in a very natural way in a book, in a course, in a coaching community, in a cohort, or in a tiny product, much like this one. All right, so let's really quickly, because I don't want this to go too much longer, let's go to the example sort of way that I do this. So that, let's say mindfulness would be the top level topic. Again, this was ostensibly created for our mindful marketplace community, but that may not be your sort of interest, but it's the same. It applies, the same principle applies. So just bear with me. So I don't remember if these were questions that I actually took from Answer the Public or not, or that I just extemporaneously generated for myself on the fly, because I know these are things that people are asking, because this is a sort of niche that I have some expertise in with respect to the audience. So let's just go through it. What is mindfulness? Is mindfulness the same as meditation? Is mindfulness religious? Will mindfulness make me a Buddhist? Is mindfulness based on science? How many types of mindfulness? How many kinds of mindfulness are there? Can I learn mindfulness at home? What is the fastest way to be good at mindfulness? Will mindfulness help my anxiety? Will mindfulness make me lazy? Will mindfulness make me stoned? Etc. Right? So then you just go through all these questions and you answer the ones that you feel most comfortable answering without much prep time or without much planning and, kind of grinding of your own gears. Is mindfulness good for stress? How much does it cost to learn mindfulness? And of course, in this sort of master map, outrageous outline, which is what I call the content cornerstone, you're siloing all of this stuff into, different buckets that you can just dive more deeply, within. So you can go like deep rather than wide. And, you can swap out words. Meditation would be a whole other silo or bucket here. Mindfulness is sort of interchangeable in some, kind of communities with meditation. It's really technically not, but folks use it that way. And essentially, you can just change. So let's say this one here is mindfulness good for losing weight. Well, you could create a whole mini course around mindfulness and weight loss, right? Mindful eating, etc. Um, that is distinct and different from the other content over here, right? So all of this is just to say that creating this content cornerstone style approach where you're actually using these very deep dive siloing of information in a vertical way is just a fantastic opportunity to discover how much more you know about a given topic and how much more you can actually offer your audience than you may otherwise be predisposed to understanding about your own experience and expertise, right? So it shows you how many more little products, tiny books if you're an author, tiny courses, etc., that you can create around a niche market vertical industry topic that you touch in your life professionally, a passion project, or a topic that you have a lot of interest in personally. All of these things provide this really exciting opportunity to really kind of like dive into something that you love or that you already do in the world and essentially monetize it ethically in a consistent, in an expanding, and in an ever growing and flowing way. Okie doke. Teach what you know, do what you love, wake up the world with your work. I will have a blank copy of this available to folks in our community so you can fill it out on your own. I will also give you a copy of this that you can edit in Canva if you want it. That's the tool that I use to actually create the content cornerstone outline. And let's see if I can just back out so you can see this was actually created in Canva. And you can actually have this, my outline as well, which was a real outline. This is really something that I really created for myself and for a couple other people in our mindful marketplace community around a tiny course on mindfulness. Okay, if you have any questions, as always, feel free to ask. I appreciate you listening and have a wonderful day.